I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about events like this occurring, and what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that? What flies like that?
Again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, why are we being blocked from this information?
The newly released video captured by a U.S. Reaper drone shows a glowing orb off the coast of Yemen. Suddenly, on the left side of your screen, you see a Hellfire missile zip in, strike that unidentified object, then bounce right off it. When we slow the video down, you see the Hellfire missile continue to travel on its path, that trajectory becoming clearer from this zoomed out angle. Not shown is a second Reaper drone that launched the missile. Congressman Eric Burleson shared the video at a House Oversight Committee on what the military calls unidentified aerial phenomena, better known as UFOs.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
We've never seen a Hellfire missile hit a target and bounce off.
Lou Elizondo is a former senior intelligence officer with the Pentagon.
When a Hellfire makes a hit, a kinetic strike on something solid, there's usually not much left of whatever it is it's hitting. It's very, very destructive. What seems to happen is that the missile is either redirected or in some case perhaps glances off the object and continues on its way.
A recent government report revealed the government received more than 750 new UAP sightings in the 2024 fiscal year, leaving lawmakers digging into the mystery and national security concerns posed by these objects.
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Yes.
Me too. There's a lot of information that's not in that video, like what mission they were on, and as they said, what are we even looking at here? We do know that the U.S. military was conducting airstrikes against Houthi targets at the time. Pentagon officials tell CBS News, no comment.
Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David, starting with 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. Shalom. Yeah, and this is why the war in heaven gonna be quick, man. It's not even gonna be a war. It's not gonna be a fight, man. And those clips showed you exactly why, man. Esau and his weaponry, his technology, is no match for the chariots of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's why it's only going to take 1 hour for America to be completely destroyed. All right? You know, the dragon, which is Esau and the other nations, they're going to lose miserably when Yahweh Shah returns, man. All right? So you saw the missile hit what they call a UFO or orb, which is a chariot, all right, that you read about in the scriptures. It's sometimes called chariot, sometimes called clouds, sometimes called flying rolls. All right. That's what's going to cover the sky. When Yahweh Shah, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, returns to save the elect of the nation of Israel from the upcoming thermonuclear destruction. All right. So that war in heaven is going to be quick, man. All right, because when those chariots cover the sky, these devils and all the heathen, they're going to be scared. But the Lord is going to put the spirit on them, man, to fight. The Lord literally going to have to make them fight because they're going to be so scared, man. All right, but Esau's technology, his military, his fighter jets, man, is no match for the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. You know, the so-called UFOs, so-called orbs. All right. So let's start with Isaiah, the 31st chapter. Let's start with that. Isaiah 31, and I'll start at verse 3. Isaiah 31 and 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. So the modern day Egyptians are the Edomites, so-called white people, you know, modern day Egyptians. You know, their military, you know, and their horses are their fighter jets, their tanks, all their weaponry and technology, man. That's their horses. All right. And because somebody will say, well, see, that's talking about in the ancient world when the Israelites went down to the Egyptians. But you got to remember, everything that's written is can be applied to this time now. There's no new thing under the sun. Like I said, the modern day Egyptians are the Edomites, man. I'm not saying physically, I'm saying spiritually. They're in the place, they're in rulership. They're the mightiest nation as far as carnality, as far as the flesh. All right? They have the most weaponry, their blessing is the sword. So that's how they're the modern day Egyptians. Now, I'm not saying physically that they're the modern day Egyptians, I'm saying spiritually. All right? And Isaiah the 19th chapter proves that. All right. Again, Isaiah 31 and 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not power, not the Most High. And their horses flesh and not spirit. Yeah, the chariots are spiritual, man. When they invade this realm, it's going to be in the physical, but they're spiritual first and foremost, man. They're not of this world. They're not flesh. Cause the chariots, man, they out of sight, man. They way out. They can enlarge themselves. They can shrink. All right. They can materialize. They can dematerialize. They can change shape, change size, man. Cloak themselves. You know. Move at otherworldly speeds, man. All right, all kind of crazy maneuvers, man. Otherworldly maneuvers. So the chariots, so-called what Esau called UFOs, they're spirit and not flesh, man. You know, Esau's his weapons, his fighter jets, his tanks, all his little missiles and whatnot, man. They're flesh, man. They're nothing to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah and the chariots, man. All right, now the Egyptians are men and not power, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall all fall together. Yeah, Esau and all his minions, all these other nations that's going to join. Because see, World War III, the Lord is going to come back. Yahweh Shah is going to come back in the midst of World War III. And all these nations, they're going to stop fighting each other, and they're going to band together to fight Yahweh Shah and the angels. All right, Yahweh Shah and the chariots. So all of them going to go down together, man. You know, the scriptures talk about the war in heaven, the dragon and his angels. That's Esau and the other nations. All right, and Lord willing, we'll get that in a few minutes. All right, I'm going to jump down to verse 5. As birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh Bashim Awashah of hosts defend Jerusalem. Yeah, and that's what that title, Lord of hosts, means, the Lord of armies, man. The so-called UFOs, that's the heavenly army. That's the heavenly air force, man. You know? Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over it, he will preserve it. So as birds flying, you know, that's those chariots, man, so-called UFOs. That's how the Lord is going to defend. Remember, Jerusalem is a people before a place, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners that may look like the other nations, but through their father's seed line, they go back to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 patriarchs, man. Jacob's 12 sons. So that's how the Lord is going to come back, man, and save his people by way of so-called UFOs, chariots. All right? So this is what's coming, man. So Esau has no chance, man. All right? No chance whatsoever. It's going to be a speedy invasion, man, so to speak. Let's go to Zechariah, the 5th chapter. Because that's what's coming to invade this earth, man. So-called UFOs. Chariots. All right, Zechariah 5:1, you see the subheading, the flying scroll, talking about a so-called UFO, a chariot. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I said, a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. So these so-called UFOs, these orbs, which are the chariots of Israel, they're going to invade the whole earth, man. They're going to cover the sky. All right. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Zechariah 5:4. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of this house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So this is what's coming, man. What Esau, the so-called white man, calls an alien invasion. But it's not aliens as in little green men from Mars like you see in the movies and on TV, man. Those are going to be Israelites, man, in those chariots, the angels. All right, our big brothers. All right. And the house of the thief, that's America, Babylon the Great. You know, mainly. Really the whole earth, because the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked is the so-called white man. Esau, Edom, he's the thief. All right, he's the thief. So, so-called UFOs, so-called spaceships are going to invade this realm, man, this earth. And they're going to take down Esau and the heathen nations, man. That's that war in heaven. Let's go get that. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get it. Revelation 12. This is why it's not even going to be a fight, man. It's going to be no contest. It's Revelation 12:7. The subheading is the angel Michael. This is Michael, the archangel. Remember, you know, Jeremiah 30:7 and Daniel the 12:1. It talks about Michael, the archangel. All right, coming back. So he's coming to make war. Remember the scripture say in Revelation the 5th chapter, all right, that Yahweh Shah, in righteousness, he doth judge and make war. So Yahweh Shah, who in the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is coming back to make war. And he's going to be on a giant so-called UFO, a giant spaceship, man. All right, that's going to be the war in heaven. And heaven means the sky. So this is not already happened. This is not the war in heaven that happened in the beginning. All right, well, you got that bugged out doctrine, that false doctrine that Satan and Satan was kicked out of heaven. No, this is not what the war in heaven is talking about. It's talking about in the end, when Yahweh Shah comes back to take down Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and all these other nations out of rulership, man. All right, Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Heaven in this context means the sky. Because heaven can mean rulership. All right, the physical realm heaven, as in the third heaven where the Most High dwells. All right, and it can mean the sky. All right, so this is talking about war in the sky. All right, Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Remember, this talking about Michael the archangel coming back to fight the dragon, which is Esau, Edom. All right. And the dragon's angels are the other nations that's going to back Esau, that's going to back America. All right. So it's going to be a war between the Chariot, so-called spaceships, and Esau's military, and the military of all these other nations, man. All right. Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, which is called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Yeah, Esau, Edom, and the nations, man. They're going to lose miserably. All right, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice in heaven saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Now that's the accuser of the brethren, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, he's going to be cast down. All right, so this is what's coming, man. The war in heaven. And you see why it's going to be no contest, man. You know, Esau hit the chariot with that Hellfire missile, and it just bounced off. And you heard Esau was kind of complex, man. He was like, hey, man, what the hell is that? You know? So this is what's coming to defend us, man. This is why we don't care about what you devils got, man. We don't care about your technology, your weaponry. We got Yahweh Shema Shah. We got the chariots, man, on our side. You devils have no chance. You in trouble, Esau. It's over for you, man. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. I hate when these ads be at the bottom like this. Facebook crap. I don't even got Facebook or any social media for that matter. 2nd Esdras 13. And I'll start at the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Yeah, the thousands of heaven are the chariots. So the man is talking about Yahweh Shah, whom the world England calls Jesus. He's coming back with the thousands of heaven. Let's go get that in Revelation, the 1st chapter. Revelation 1. What is it, 7? Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, matter of fact, let me go make it red letter. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Yeah. So you know, all the people they're gonna be scared as hell, man. All right. Because when we're what we about to get in 2nd Esdras 13 chapter, they said they were so afraid, but yet there's fight. All right. So the clouds, it says he cometh with clouds. The clouds are so-called UFOs, so-called spaceships. All right, you can read about that in Psalms 104 and 3. All right, but he maketh the cloud his chariot. It's talking about spaceships, man. All right, so the Lord, Yahweh Shah, is coming back with the thousands of heaven. He's coming back with the chariots, so-called UFOs. All right, so let's go back to 2nd Esdras 13. 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 4. And whensoever that voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filled when it filled the fire. So Yahweh Shah and all the other chariots, they're going to be shooting out laser beams, man. All right. All right, and this back up there, counting Revelation, the 12th chapter, the war in heaven, 2nd Esdras 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of the number of the four winds of heaven. So from all four corners of the earth. Remember, all the nations, they're going to band together to fight Yahweh Shah and the angels, man. So this is the multitude that was gathered together. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and all the heathen and Gentile nations. All right. Out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Yeah, the sea is talking about the heavens. Remember, there's waters above the earth. All right, the sky, the firmament. There's waters above the firmament. So it's likened unto a sea. Yahweh Shai is coming, and the angels, they're coming back through they're coming from the heavens, man. It's likened unto a sea. All right. Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That mountain is the Chariot. All right. There's many names for so-called spaceships in the Bible, man. You know, it's not talking about a literal mountain. It's talking about a chariot, a so-called spaceship. Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Yeah, it's going to be gigantic, man. It's going to be a giant. Yahweh Shai's fathership is going to be gigantic, man. All right. So Edris was looking for the end of it. It was so big, he couldn't see the ends of it, man. All right. Verse 8. After this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Yeah, they're going to be scared as hell. All right. But the Lord, remember the scripture say the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to make them fight. Remember, we were coming out of ancient Egypt. You know, Pharaoh didn't want to pursue the Israelites. All right. But the Lord made them do it. They went into that sea and got drowned, man. All right. And it's going to be the same thing with Esau, Edom, and the other nations. They're going to be scared as hell, but the Lord going to make them fight because that's what's written. All right. Just remember scripture say thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, man. All right. So this has to happen because it's written. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So that's all the laser beams, man. All right, verse 11. And all they were mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was so afraid. Yeah, it's going to be no contest, man. Yahweh Shai and the angels hey, man, hey, the Lord going to wipe the floor with them, man. All right, so it's going to be no contest, man. Esau going to lose miserably. His little tanks, fighter jets, his little missiles, nothing compared to the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So, hey, you see why, man. All right. And the Hellfire missile is not weak. Don't get it twisted, man. As you heard the guy say, you know, usually when the Hellfire missile hits something, man, hey, nothing much left. It pretty much destroys its target. But that's why I opened up with Isaiah 31:3, man. The Lord's chariots, they're spirit and not flesh, man. They're indestructible, man. Because they're celestial. They're not terrestrial. Esau's weaponry, his fighter jets, his technology is terrestrial. It's fleshly. It's carnal. It's worldly, man. It's man and not spirit, man. The chariots, so-called spaceships, they're spirit. They're indestructible, man. So it's going to be no contest, man. All right, let's close out with Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So the Lord is coming with fire, man, with the chariots. He's coming to make war, you know. So this is what's coming, man. So that war in heaven, man, Yahweh Shai and the angels gonna wipe the floor with Esau, Edom, and the other nations, man. It's not gonna be a fight. It's going to be completely one-sided, man. You through, Esau. You done, man. You out of here. You know. So your little missiles or whatever the hell you got is no match for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And you see, and there's been many instances where the chariots, you know, they flown over like nuclear sites and disarmed missiles, man. Nuclear silos, man. Completely shut them off. So really, Esau, if the Lord wanted it that way, the Lord wouldn't even let you get a shot off it if that's what He wanted. All right, but the Lord gonna put the Spirit on you to make you fight, but it's not gonna even be a fight, man. So this is what's coming, man. Hey, we good, brothers. We ain't gotta worry about these devils, man. As you brothers and sisters, you Akim and Akwat of the hopeful elect, y'all know that, man. So we ain't gotta pick up guns and this and that, man. The Lord gonna fight our battle, man. The Lord coming back, man. Ain't gonna take these devils down. They're nothing compared to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we good, man. I pray that this has been edifying to the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, the house of David, starting with the 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. A Baba Ball, Shalom.